Hello and welcome to Real Estate in Focus. Once we decide to purchase our first investment property, whether it's a commercial strip plaza or it is a apartment building, anything 6 units or higher, we think that real estate transactions are similar to your principal residence. And of course it is not. There is a lot of different factors that play a role in closing of a commercial property that we need to understand and be prepared for. In order to understand the differences, probably not everything but major, that's why we have Maria Diaz to explain us. Thank you for coming, and let's just go ahead and understand these differences.
Well, commercial properties are a totally different creature than residential properties.
Exactly.
Commercial properties, you tend to do a lot more searches and a lot more people get involved. For example, in terms of parties, generally the bank will have its own lawyer, you as a purchaser will have your own lawyer, and the vendors will have their own lawyer. Now, if you are buying a commercial property that's tenanted, then you may be dealing with the lawyers of all your tenants as well. So with all that in mind, you have to keep in mind your timing and the fact that unlike residential properties, which you can rush a closing on and turn it around in maybe 1 or 2 weeks, with a commercial property, the transaction really starts with all these people involved, maybe even 1 to 2 months ahead of time. The other difference as well is that when you do your searches, it's usually more encompassing and there's a lot more required. Unlike, again, a regular residential property, title insurance doesn't necessarily cover everything. So it's important that whoever your solicitor is will contact title insurance ahead of time and explain to them what your transaction is and try to cover as much as possible for a transaction. And these are things that they can negotiate for you. The policies are, of course, more expensive, but if you can get your title insurance to cover, for example, easements or rights-of-way or streets to ensure that you have access to several streets as opposed to just one street, these are very important things that can actually affect the market value of your property.
So basically, you need more of everything. You need more time, you need more
Yes.
money, and more importantly, you need more patience.
Yes,
These
exactly.
are very complex things, and it could delay, and things might happen last minute. You need a lot of patience, and this is a lot more complex than your common residential closing.
Yes, and it also needs the cooperation of all the parties. Unlike a residential closing where you probably will not see the other side or speak with the vendor as much, usually in commercial properties, everyone is meeting much more often or in telephone conversations much more often than in a regular residential property. It does take everyone's cooperation to close a commercial property, and of course, that's why it's important for you when you are hiring a solicitor to ask them if they do commercial properties on a regular basis.
Okay, thank you, Maria, and hopefully this video was a little bit helpful to understand the differences between these two different type of transactions, commercial and residential. Thank you.